The bonobo is one of the closest living relatives of humans, yet it represents a radically different evolutionary path from the one most people associate with power, dominance, and violence. Found only in a limited region of the Congo Basin, this great ape lives in dense tropical forests largely hidden from the outside world. For decades, it remained misunderstood, overshadowed by its more aggressive cousin, the common chimpanzee. But as scientific understanding deepened, the bonobo emerged as one of the most extraordinary social experiments ever produced by nature. The evolutionary history of the bonobo is tightly linked to geography. Millions of years ago, ancestral chimpanzees were separated by the formation of the Congo River, one of the largest and most powerful river systems in Africa. This natural barrier isolated populations on opposite sides, preventing interbreeding and allowing evolution to take separate paths. On the northern side, common chimpanzees evolved under intense competition and scarcity. On the southern side, bonobos developed in an environment with relatively stable food availability and fewer external pressures. This difference shaped everything. Where scarcity favors aggression and hierarchy, abundance allows tolerance and cooperation. Over thousands of generations, bonobos evolved social systems that reduced conflict rather than intensified it. Their world became one where survival depended not on dominance, but on social intelligence. Physically, bonobos resemble chimpanzees, but subtle differences reveal deeper behavioral contrasts. Bonobos have longer legs, slimmer builds, narrower shoulders, and more upright posture. Their faces are darker with pink lips, and their expressions appear more relaxed and expressive. These features are not cosmetic. They reflect developmental changes that extend juvenile traits into adulthood, a process known as neoteny. This retention of youthful characteristics is closely linked to playfulness, curiosity, and reduced aggression. The bonobo brain is highly developed, especially in regions associated with empathy, emotional regulation, and social awareness. Neurological studies show that bonobos process social cues differently from chimpanzees. Where chimpanzees react quickly to perceived threats, bonobos pause, assess, and seek social solutions. This difference has profound implications for how groups function. Bonobo societies are structured around female alliances. Unlike most primates, where males dominate through force, bonobo females form strong cooperative bonds that collectively shape group behavior. These alliances prevent any single male from monopolizing power. Male bonobos gain status primarily through their relationships with their mothers and their ability to navigate social dynamics rather than through intimidation. Conflict in bonobo groups is rare, and when it does occur, it is usually brief and quickly diffused. Instead of escalating aggression, bonobos use social bonding behaviors to reduce tension. Grooming, play, and close physical contact reinforce trust and group cohesion. These behaviors are not random. They are tools evolved to maintain stability in complex social environments. Bonobo intelligence is deeply social. They excel at understanding intentions, emotions, and relationships. Experiments show that bonobos outperform chimpanzees in tasks requiring cooperation and sharing. They willingly help others, even when there is no immediate reward. This tendency challenges long-held assumptions about competition being the primary driver of intelligence. Communication among bonobos is rich and nuanced. Vocalizations, facial expressions, body language, and touch all play roles in conveying information. A slight change in posture or gaze can signal reassurance, curiosity, or warning. These signals are interpreted quickly and accurately within the group, reducing misunderstandings that could lead to conflict. Diet also plays a role in shaping bonobo behavior. Bonobos are omnivorous, but their diet relies heavily on fruit, supplemented by leaves, seeds, and occasional small animals. Unlike chimpanzees, bonobos rarely hunt larger prey cooperatively. Reduced dependence on meat limits competition over food resources, further lowering aggression. Foraging is often a social activity. Groups move together through the forest, sharing access to feeding sites. Dominance does not determine who eats first. Instead, food distribution is relatively egalitarian, reinforcing trust and group stability. This pattern supports the idea that social systems are deeply connected to ecological conditions. Reproduction in bonobos reflects their social structure. Females experience extended periods of sexual receptivity, which reduces competition among males and strengthens female control over mating. Sexual behavior in bonobos serves multiple functions beyond reproduction, including conflict resolution and social bonding. While this aspect of bonobo life often attracts sensational attention, its biological role is straightforward, reducing tension and reinforcing cooperation. Infant bonobos are born highly dependent, requiring years of maternal care. Mothers invest heavily in their offspring, teaching them social norms, foraging strategies, and communication skills. Juveniles spend much of their time playing, which serves as training for adult social life. Through play, young bonobos learn boundaries, empathy, and cooperation. Mortality rates among infants are relatively low compared to other primates, reflecting the stability of bonobo societies. Predation pressure exists, but group vigilance and forest cover reduce risk. The greatest threats to bonobo survival do not come from natural predators, but from humans. Ecologically, bonobos play an essential role in their forest environment. As seed dispersers, they help maintain plant diversity and forest regeneration. Many tree species depend on large-bodied animals like bonobos to spread seeds across wide areas. Without them, forest composition would shift, affecting countless other species. Human interaction with bonobos has been devastating. Habitat destruction, logging, mining, and agricultural expansion have fragmented their limited range. Bushmeat hunting, driven by poverty and conflict, has further reduced populations. Political instability in the region has made conservation efforts difficult, leaving bonobos vulnerable. Despite legal protections, enforcement is inconsistent. Roads built for resource extraction open remote forests to hunters. Each loss weakens social networks that take decades to form. Because bonobos reproduce slowly, population recovery is painfully slow. Conservation of bonobos is not only about saving a species. It is about preserving a living example of an alternative evolutionary strategy. Bonobos demonstrate that intelligence does not require violence, that cooperation can be stable, and that dominance is not the only path to survival. Their existence challenges simplistic views of nature as inherently brutal. It forces a re-evaluation of assumptions about human behavior as well. If one of our closest relatives can build societies based on empathy and cooperation, then aggression is not destiny. The bonobo matters because it expands our understanding of what evolution can produce. It shows that natural selection does not always favor the strongest or the most aggressive, but sometimes favors those best at understanding others. In a world increasingly shaped by competition and conflict, the bonobo stands as quiet evidence that another way is possible. Its survival now depends on whether humans choose to protect not just forests, but the lessons embedded within them. Somewhere deep in the Congo basin, a group of bonobos moves silently through the canopy. They are not fighting for dominance. They are grooming, sharing food, caring for the young, and maintaining bonds that have sustained them for thousands of years. Their world is fragile, but their message is powerful. The bonobo is not nature's exception. It is nature's reminder.